Hi, this is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I wanted to show you guys what I've learned today. I've been practicing with the stencils. So if you've got your paper pumpkin kit for the month of March, you'll have received these stencils with the kit. It's this one's stars. Now we've got some clouds, and this is mountains and our sun ray. So I'm actually going to start with the sun ray. But before I start, you've also got a sponge with your kit. So this sponge is to ink your paper with the stencil. So the first thing I do with these sponges is I cut them into quarters. They're super easy to cut. Just go at it with your scissors, and that way you have a smaller piece to work with, so it's a little easier to control, and you can use kind of a different piece with each color that you're using. This one's stuck. Once you are done with your sponges, you just wash them under water, just at the tap, whatever, and you're done. So, and the same with the stencils. When you're done with them, just rinse them under water, no soap or anything, and they're fine. Good to go, brand new. So, I am just lining this up. I don't want it to move while I'm using it, so what I'm going to do is I'm using washi tape. You can use that, or you can use sticky notes, whatever you have. It's just something that's not going to stick to your paper. And I'm going to try to put this here. I should have used a slightly bigger piece of paper and just cut it from there, but anyways, that's what we're doing. So if you're in the Ottawa area, you'll have had a wonderful spring day today. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that the nice weather's back. All right, so to do my sun, I'm using Bumblebee, which is one of the in colors from the from 2020 to 2022. So I'm just dabbing my sponge in the ink. You don't need a ton. And I'm actually going to do my circle first. So you can see I'm just swirling it, picking up a little more color. So the key with the stencils is to try not to move the little pieces, because you want to kind of be consistent. So I'm trying to do darker near the center of the sun and then edging out a little from there, so that's a little lighter heading out. It doesn't need to be perfect. This was the first one I tried. I was like, hey, this is really good. This is not hard to do at all. And then I got trying the mountains and the clouds. I'm like, this is a lot more challenging. So I wanted to do a video to show you guys kind of what I've learned today, because, well, it's not as easy as it looks sometimes. This one's really straightforward, especially if you're just using one color. And I'm working my way towards the center just to try not to move those stencil pieces. Another thing that's really kind of fun to do, which I'm going to show you as well, is I'm going to just work in. So the color we got this month with our kit was, uh-oh, it moved. There we go. The color we got with our kit this month is Calypso Coral, which is a gorgeous kind of pinky orange color. So I'm just going to add just a teeny bit of it. So I'm going to use the same sponge. I'm just going to use a different section of it. I just want to add just a little bit of Calypso to this, just to make it that much more interesting. Ooh. Yeah, so I definitely recommend you use a bigger piece of paper than I've used, so that you can really anchor your paper down a bit better than I did. So it will move on you. So I'm just going in lightly with a little bit of the Calypso just to give it a little bit more dimension. There we go. So that's my sunburst. And what I did with my sunburst is I turned it into 2 cards. You could, you know, this is a gorgeous focal point as it is, if you wanted that to be your card or your background, but I cut it in half and added some more bits to it. I'm just gonna put my stencil out of the way so I don't get yellow ink on anything. So what I did to make these cards is the kit comes with these beautiful envelope liners, and they fit like all the way in. You put your glue dots behind them, push them all the way down, and just stick it together. But you can't see anything beyond this line, so I cut it. And that gave me this gorgeous paper to work with. So from there, I cut my paper. I put some, ooh, goodness, the color has run away from my head. Seaside Spray, my goodness. So Seaside Spray, incidentally, is one of those retiring colors that's going to retire in May, along with this dark teal, the Pretty Peacock. So if those are among colors you have or your favorite colors, don't forget to get those quickly because they are starting to deplete the stocks. So if you've got the ink pad, especially get your re-inker, because then your ink pad will be good for years to come. If they're among your favorite colors, you might want to order some more of the paper because it will be gone. So going back to the card, what I did is I put a layer of the Seaside Spray, and then I just glued down part of the envelope liner here, and added some of the twine that comes in our kit too, is the linen thread. I stamped the sentiment here, and then I put I cut this guy in half, and I put half of it up here with just using dimensionals to pop it up. And on the other card, I did the exact same thing. I just, I embossed the Seaside Spray with the ornate floral embossing folder, just to add a little bit more pizzazz. So tons you can do with this sunburst stencil. You could even do different colors. One thing that might be cool to do too, that I haven't tried, is actually shifting. Can you do that? You could totally shift your stencil and put different colors. Ooh, I'm gonna try that next. Yeah, that'd look really sharp. So you could use like a different yellow or just do different colors altogether and have even more going on. So ooh, I'm gonna try it just a little bit just to see what it looks like, because I can't not. I'm gonna put these aside not to get ink on them, and you know what? I'm gonna use the Calypso Coral just so that we have a contrast. And I'm not gonna stick it down. I'm just gonna trust myself not to move my hands. I use this side. I just want to see what it would look like, because I think it would look really cool. So I'm being pretty light-handed here. I just want to get the color in. Ooh, look at that. You could probably even shift it again and put another color. Ooh. So many options, right? So again, the stencils were the free gift with the March kit. There's always a little something extra in the March kit, so it's a good one to get. All right, so the star stencil is, I'm not going to do one right now, but it's another one. Just put it on top and just dab your stars. You could go multicolor with it. You can try the craft white ink on a darker color to have white stars. I did try that last night and it didn't go well, so I've got to keep trying to work with this one. I think it'll work better with colors. I can just do a little bit on my scrap just to show you. What have we got? We'll just use Calypso because it's here. So just dab your stamp. Let's see what this guy does. So there's a little smattering of stars. So really cute as well. Put this in the wash pile. All right, so I have spent a lot of time with my clouds and my mountains. I did find it a lot more of a learning curve, so I wanted to do a video really to show you how to use this one. So you've got this mountain range here, then you've got this other one, and this one, which is super cool, this is the negative space from this one. So I'm going to show you what that means. So I'm going to go through it. So I'm actually going to start kind of up here. And I made another stencil as well that I want to show you because you have it in your kit. So I am going to start with a petal pink. So I'm sticking to the colors that every month you get a sheet saying which colors coordinate with the kit. So I am starting, I'm using those colors to do this mountain range of mine. So same thing, just dabbing in the ink, being careful to really go up against the edges at the top because I want that to be nice and crisp. All right, let's see what that looks like. Ta-da! So between colors, because I'm going to be switching colors with this one, I'm just using a tissue. I'm just wiping it off. Again, it will come off completely when you rinse it underwater, but I don't want to rinse it and then wait for it to dry and blah, blah, blah. So, did I do that wrong? I don't know. All right, we're going to do some coral now. So you could use tape or a sticky note to hold it down. In fact, I am going to do that. And there's a bit of a secondary reason why I'm doing that, is I don't want to accidentally get ink in that space where I've got my mountain range started already. Which one's my Calypso? This one. So because Calypso is a darker color than that petal pink, it doesn't matter if I go over top. It will work out just fine. So it's really to get that, get the detailing at the top, and then you can remove your stencil and pull it down as low as you want to. Like so. So I feel that my sample that I had done earlier was different than this because I didn't have gaps. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So I'm just going to fill those in with the pink. And then I will show you, oh, I know. Let's use that mirror image that I was telling you about. So the negative image, sorry. So I kind of screwed up that pink a bit there by leaving a gap. So what I really should have done is started with my coral and then done the pink over top, because I can cover it and then I can just fill this in and I'm not going to have to worry about ruining my mountains. Because boy, do I hate ruining mountains. So I'm just going to fill this line in and it will completely disappear. There we go. See, nice and so the next thing is I'm just going to pull my coral down a bit. So of course this is not looking like the sample that I've already done, but that's okay. Another really neat thing on this stencil is it's got these little cutouts. So that lines up beautifully with your mountains. So you can add snow peaks or sun or pretty peacock. That's what I'm doing. I want to put a darker color there, so I'm switching sponge. And you can kind of see through your stencils too, so you know where you're at. So if you want to go over top of a darker color, I highly recommend you use a dark color. So this one's got kind of little edges to it, so I'm really just dabbing over top and getting the color in there. Because if you try to swipe across, you're going to get your sponge caught. I learned this the hard way. Alright. So I'm not doing the whole image, and I'll show you why as we go on. So that adds kind of, I don't know, some kind of detail to it, which is kind of fun. So I am going to set this stencil aside, and we're going to do some mountains. Sorry, not mountains. We're going to do some clouds. And we are going to do those in Seaside Spray. You could use, you know, balmy blue or a light gray, whatever kind of look you want to achieve. Again, I'm just switching color, switching sponge. So the way that this stencil is made is it's got two different designs that go straight across and then a whole bunch of little clouds. I don't really want to have super uniform clouds. I like my sky to look a little bit more random, so I really am being random about this. And it really is just about moving things around. There's a definite learning curve to this. And that's okay. It's fun to, I find it fun to learn new techniques. It's just, took me a little while to get to a spot where I was happy with it. I'm like, oh my God, why can't I do this? But it really is just trial, practice, all of that. And I find by moving it around, it just looks a little bit more natural. Ooh. Just a little bit more up here. And I don't want to have like a stark white, so I'm just gonna lightly brush the rest of my, I did not add new color, I'm just brushing across with what's already on the sponge. Just to, here we go. Ooh, I like that one. I think that's my best one yet. All right, and now comes another fun thing. So, also included in the kit are these gorgeous die-cut trees. So this is the pretty peacock. But once you take out your trees, you're left with a stencil. So, so the reason I did not carry the pattern across here is I am putting the trees. So, the stencil is, sorry, the paper is a little bit more delicate than the stencils we got, of course. So it's kind of important to just dab on top. There's these teeny little bits, and I'm going over top of the Calypso coral. So I do want to put a fair amount of ink down there just to really cover that up. If you use your stencils and the sponges a fair amount, you will eventually need to re-ink your stamp pads or your ink spot. Ink refills are $5, and you get a little bottle. And oh my goodness, I don't have one right here. It's a little bottle that, of course, contains the same color of ink. They're water-based inks, these ones. So you just add a couple of drops and test it out and see if you've got enough there. If you need more, you add more. And if it's stamping with the kind of true bright color, then you're good. Oops. So the key is to keep things aligned, so never a bad idea to put that sticky note down and really hold your spot, but I didn't do that. And then once I've got my trees done, I just want to do this sort of little island, as it were. I don't know what it is. Piece of land. So I have used this paper bit a few times already, so it's starting to get a bit tired. All right, but it still looks pretty awesome, right? So I'm just gonna carry the pretty peacock across. If you really squeeze your sponge, you're gonna have a finer tip and you won't risk getting ink where you don't want it. I'm basically just, I don't know, I like to think of this as a little, maybe not an island, but a piece of land going across, and you'll see I'm going to turn it into some water with Seaside Spray again. And I will turn this into a sort of lake. So I'm deliberately just swiping across. I've got some texture showing, but to me that's more natural to what water would look like. And I'm going to put a bit more on the other side of our piece of land. And I'm just going to go over top of the bottom of the trees a little bit because you can see through them. And that way it makes it look like this is kind of across a lake or something. Man, I can't wait to go camping. This spring weather today is just, oh, it's got me in such a good mood. All right, so this is kind of what our card base would be. So I took that and I made it into this card. These trees here I stamped with the stamp from the stamp kit with this month's kit. My goodness, that's the word kit a lot. So I used Pretty Peacock ink to get the image, and I stamped off the card so that it looks like it's really just coming up from the corner. Here's to use, the sentiment I used. So yeah, lots of fun. So learning to use these stencils really is trial and error and just trying till you get it perfected. But I hope this helps you get started. They're really a lot of fun. So anytime you have questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. Have a great day.